Hi everyone in English 2323. It is Dr. E and I'm here to walk you through the syllabus document. Now, I know this is not the most exciting bit of information, and in the first week it can just be very overwhelming. All of this stuff is coming at you, all of these new ideas and rules and guidelines. So I'm going to just try to pick out kind of the finer details that sometimes students ask about with the knowledge and understanding that you will take some time to go through and read all of those things that I pass by, right? But really, this is a document that is meant to help you. It's meant to be kind of an all-in-one space to find out most of the information you'll need for the course, as well as resources, contacts, all of that kind of information. So I'm just going to jump right to it. All right, so this is it. There is a table of contents set up so that if you just need a quick access to, important dates, it'll find you there. Or if you need, the grades or just anything like that, it's meant to be a little bit more accessible, so you don't have to just scroll everywhere, right? So the first bit of information is, to how to get in touch with me, information about me. My name is Dr. Raft, but my last name doesn't sound like it is spelled, so Dr. E has always just been a bit easier. This is my email address, and I put here a little note to email via D2L, and I only put that little note there because whether you choose to email from your regular student email, right, the my.lonestar.edu, or through D2L, they both come directly to me, so those are fine. Just don't email from your personal web emails because those often go through our firewall. It takes several days for them to arrive if they arrive at all. So I don't want to miss that communication from you. So just go ahead and make sure you're using D2L or your mylonestar.edu email address. All right, so I don't have an office location, but if you are in town and want to meet at some point, we do have some space at University Park, the campus on 249, and then there are some phone numbers here. So this is the general office phone, and I put that because it is something that will ring through my work computer, I believe, but I don't always use my work computer because I use Macs and I have an HP. I don't really know how to use it that well, but it will go to voicemail and I can check my voicemail. But I do have a Google Voice number that you are free to use during those office hours, right? So those are going to be Monday through Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 3:30, and that will be via WebEx. I'll explain later. Don't worry about that right now. And then on Thursdays, I thought it might be a little bit more approachable to have instant messages in D2L as our way to communicate, and that's from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. These are just kind of set, but I'm happy to change them to meet your schedules, especially if quite a few of you have a schedule that would benefit from different kinds of hours. But if you can't meet during those times, let me know. We'll set up an alternate time. I'm happy to do that, and I would love to meet with you, so let me know. All right, if you need to get in touch with anybody that is at a higher level than I am, my boss essentially is the Senior Associate Vice Chancellor, Dr. McMillian. You know the course information, but of course we need to include that. And then there are all the important dates for the semester, just if you need a quick link to, where the exam schedule is, that kind of thing. So here is the course overview, and this is just kind of the nitty-gritty about, what are the outcomes we're striving for this semester, what is the format, the technology requirements. I want to note that in this section, we have those goals for a typical British literature class, but in this section, we are really going to be striving to broaden our perspective. So we're going to focus our attention on the iterations of, the terminology and history as they develop in the stylings and productions of various authors. So essentially, we are going to push ideas and our understandings and our relationships with the ideas about class and sexuality and ethnicity and or race, age, ability, disability, all of those kinds of things. So I don't want you to think of this course as a lot of dead or living white people. British literature is so much more than that, and so we're going to try to push beyond that with the understanding that, unfortunately, British literature began with stories being told by white men who are now dead, right, for the most part, and then we start to expand the readings as time moves forward and more voices are becoming part of, all the readings that we do. All right, I'm going to scroll down. There are some technology requirements, so make sure you're taking some time to look through this. I really recommend you use Chrome. Just Chrome. I mean, you can use Firefox, that's fine. Edge, Safari is kind of okay, but nothing outside. I mean, some people still try to use Internet Explorer and it just doesn't function very well with D2L. It's helpful to peruse this section about, what your kind of comfort level should be with this kind of course, what the expectations in general be for online courses, okay? If you need quick access, you can always download this document, of course. If you need quick access to the course, here are some links for you. If you want to get the Brightspace Pulse app, here is a link. All of this stuff. So again, this is really just meant to be kind of a resource where you can find things quickly when you need them. Here's information about our course text, which I've sent a couple of emails about. There's also another whole section in D2L with the course information, but again, just putting it in all kinds of places where you might want to look to find it. All right, so let's get to the nitty-gritty of grades, right? So this is how our grades are broken down. So I put here, just so that you know ahead of time, every assignment below with an asterisk is going to have some sort of grading rubric or handout, and often a template, right? So don't think of this as, oh my gosh, look at all these different assignments. I don't even know what they are. You will. I will often have a video that walks through those instructions and information, as well as a handout, right? So it's the first week. Don't get stressed. It's going to be okay. Okay. All right. So a lot of your grade is discussions and general participation. So we'll work on a point system, and that's about 47%. I have some funky numbers going on, I know, but it'll make sense later. So there will be participation in group work. We're going to do some mind map assignments. Again, I'll explain, don't worry. We'll have some weekly quizzes. Those are just, yes, asking you some questions from the reading, but also asking questions from the videos, or asking you to kind of push beyond some of that. So expect those every week. Discussion posts, so sometimes those will be in groups, sometimes it will be as an entire class. And then of course reflection at the end of the semester. You'll then have a paper portfolio. So that will be a compilation of the written response assignments that we do throughout the first number of weeks of the semester. You'll go through and you'll collect those into a final portfolio, add a bit of information, and submit that. So that's kind of our research essay, okay? It's a little bit more approachable, and I enjoy it a lot, and I think students do as well. There's also the final multimedia project. So this is how we end our semester. So instead of having a final exam to close out the semester, which is fine, right? But it's not what we can do in literature. We can get a little bit more creative. So we have a multimedia project that is asking you to go back across the semester, think of something that was interesting, exciting, new, and you'll make a project around that that allows you to be more creative than, writing a paper or completing an exam. Information will be coming. Calm down. It's going to be okay. All right. So if you're more of a visual person, this is how the grades are broken down. And then below that is just kind of a quick discussion about those different assignments. But know, again, that I will have other documents, videos, etc. to walk through all of this information. And I try to spread that out. So I'm not going to drop all of those videos this week. No. A couple of weeks before a particular kind of assignment is due, I try to post a video and share about that. So, for the portfolio, I'm not going to talk about it now because it's just going to be too much. I'll talk about it at a later time when it is going to be due in a number of weeks. All right. So a lot of times folks want to know, like, attendance, especially in an online course. What does that mean? So here I just put a section where, the way to be successful in an online course is to be present. It is statistically proven in my courses as well as others. The more you get into D2L, the more time you spend there, just clicking around, getting used to it, knowing where to go and what to do, the higher the likelihood that you will be successful in the course. So really and truly, you got to invest that time. We're not together in, 2 class meetings a week, but we need to put that time into kind of all of those things that are in D2L, right? So just something to be aware of. If you do not complete an assignment, any assignment in 2 consecutive weeks, my assumption is going to be that you're going through something and the best move forward is going to be to drop you. And that's not a punishment. That is me thinking something's going on. I can't get in touch with this student. I don't want them to fail at the end of the semester and get that F grade. So I'm just going to drop them now. So again, being present is the best way to make sure that you're successful. And you know, every week we have assignments. So completing those assignments are going to help your grade. All right, there's some information here. And then communication, you know, if you have questions or concerns, there's going to be a Q&A area in our discussion board. But if you have something that's a little bit more personal or direct, you can always email me. Please include some of this information to help me kind of identify who you are. I put here, it can take up to 48 hours for me to get to all email inquiries. I have a lot of students, so I get a lot of emails, which is why that Q&A discussion board area is there, because you can jump in there and answer each other's questions. I will get in there, of course, and do the same. But when it comes to email, it can take me some time to get back to you. And over the weekend, it can take a bit longer. So don't hesitate to reach out at all, but know that I'm not sitting at my computer or using my phone to respond to emails, but I do check things pretty regularly. All right. There will be a student-only chat area in the discussion boards, and that's for you. I will not get in there. I will not look in there, but that's a nice way to kind of ask one another questions or set up group chats or things like that. So that's for you. I don't accept late work. It's just too much to keep track of with how many students and how many classes, but for every assignment, there is a 24-hour grace period. So if something is due on Thursday at 11:59 p.m., you have a 24-hour grace period till Friday at 11:59 p.m. to submit that work. It does come with a grade reduction, but anything is better than submitting nothing, right? I can't emphasize it enough. Submit something, even if it falls short of the requirements, even if you're embarrassed by it. Show that you put some effort into the work that week, because that is a good start. And we'll talk about revising and resubmitting down the road. Okay, so please make sure you're taking time to read through all of this. Student interaction, I just put here, like, we gotta respect one another. We're gonna have some conversations that may make you uneasy, may push your ideas a bit, and that's okay. Just be respectful. We aren't seeing each other's visual cues. You're not seeing facial expressions or anything from other students, so you have to really be careful with your tone when you come to responding to one another in the discussion boards. All right. So information on plagiarism, this is nothing new. Please visit this link. The Purdue Online Writing Lab website is my go-to. This is why in all my classes, I never require an MLA handbook, because everything is right here for you. So if you click on MLA, it's amazing. I mean, it's one of those things where everybody should use it. Okay, but there's information about plagiarism as well as how to format in MLA, or Modern Language Association formatting guidelines. All the student services are here. So a quick link again to the library, testing centers. We have tutors, use them. And then any of the Lone Star College policies that you may have questions about, everything's here. It's a really, y'all, I know it's a long document. I know that. Some of it is because we're required to include that, but some of it is so that, again, you just have that, you have that document at your fingertips. If you have a question, a specific question about either the course, you as a student, any of that, it's all there. So take some time, click through it, just like you're going to click through D2L, get used to it, and let me know if you have any questions, or let me know if you find some sort of error, because there is the possibility that there are some errors that I need to correct, so you can help me proofread. All right, y'all, it's going to be a great semester, and now I think it's probably time to move on to your next video, but hang in there.